I am bringing you guys a highly requested video. A lot of you have wanted me to do a lower carb meal plan that also is higher in protein, and this is it. Now, this will not be the one and only time I do this. I'm actually really excited about this style of eating, and I'm gonna do a whole bunch of these because now that we're in quarantine and I can't go to the gym, I'm not exercising as much. My calorie levels have totally dropped. I don't really count calories, but I've noticed I've eaten significantly less. And I'm really enjoying this style of eating, and a lot of you have requested it. So here it is, high protein, much lower carbs than normally I consume. It is still a balanced meal plan. You're getting tons and tons of micronutrients. But just a little quick side note, I made this specifically for those who don't feel good eating a lot of starchy carbohydrates. You know, if you want to eat a high carb, low fat diet, moderate protein, that's totally fine. If that works for you, that works great. It doesn't work for everybody. And I totally understand that. Everybody's body is different. Everyone feels good on different macronutrient levels. And so that's why I wanted to create this plan to bring you a different way of eating plant-based. Not everyone has to eat plant-based the same. It's a-okay. So for people who don't feel as good as on carbs, sorry, this is really long. For people who don't feel as good on a ton of starchy carbohydrates, and also for those who are weightlifting, need that heavy amount of protein, but are not doing a ton of cardio. But at the end of the day, anybody can do this if you wanna do this. But I'll explain more about all the wonderful ways of eating on a plant-based diet. It is not a one-size-fits-all, but there are some basic principles that everyone on any type of diet should follow in order to live a healthy, long life. Okay, enough of that. That was way too long. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and let's jump into all of these wonderful recipes. One last thing, I did put all of the recipes down below in the description so you can copy, paste it, make a grocery list, whatever you want to do with that. For breakfast, I'm having a tofu scramble, and I know some of you guys are very anti-soy, which I completely understand. I used to be anti-soy as well. However, I have completely changed my opinion on soy after I continued to learn more about it. And if you're on a high protein, lower carb vegan diet, tofu is one of the few cleaner, high protein, low carb foods out there that also contains a high amount of natural calcium. It's just one of the best sources for a high protein, low carb vegan diet. And speaking of not as clean, I'm gonna use a hot Italian Beyond Meat sausage, super high in protein, really low in carbs, and really tasty. So I'm just cooking this up according to its instructions. Add in some super high protein tofu. I like Wildwood. My grocery store Sprouts also has a super high protein. We're looking at 14 to 15 grams of protein per serving. You can use a tofu with a lower protein count and just use more of the package. So we're just gonna cook this up, heat this up a little bit more, and then we're gonna add in some more flavorings. So first we're adding some nutritional yeast, then garlic powder and turmeric, and then just stirring that up all together, giving it that nice yellow eggy coloring, but also some nice flavor. Then adding in some veggies. We've got bell pepper, spinach, and green beans. Now I just like to cook this until the spinach wilts. So my vegetables, like the bell pepper and the green beans, are not gonna be overly cooked. I still like them to be nice and crunchy. So when it looks like this, where all the spinach is cooked, for me, that's done. If you choose to cook it longer, that's up to you. I really don't do times. I do it by look, crunch, taste. So it's just gonna be different for everybody. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper just to really kick up the flavors, and there you go. The protein content in this meal alone would be sufficient enough for the average person, male or female. Females need about 46 grams of protein a day. Males need around like 56. So honestly, just this one meal is gonna suffice pretty much all your protein content, but we have a lot more protein to go. So let's jump into the next meal. In a blender cup, I've added some frozen mixed berries. This is raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, adding in water. And then I'm going to add in some vanilla protein powder. Blend it all together. So simple, just frozen berries, water, and protein powder. One of the top questions that I have gotten from you guys is, what is your favorite protein powder? What do you recommend? I usually would just tell you what I use, but then say, you know, I'm still trying to find my favorite. And now I can officially say that I have found my favorite. So this is Nuzest. I have tried, I think, all of their flavors. I've tried a lot of them in the little packages. They have little sample packages that you can get. Try different flavors. Obviously, vanilla and chocolate is just a staple. They sell these in the big tubs. So I get them in the big tubs because I use them so frequently. And then they have a bunch of other flavors that they just have a bunch of other flavors, and they're all really good. But anyway, I will talk more about Nuzest in another video. But in the meantime, if you are interested in trying out Nuzest, you can use my discount code Jaclyn Wood to get 15% off any order on their website. I will put a link down below in the description with that link and my discount code. So if you do use it, it does help support me, and I am super, super grateful if you do use them. And it just helps me keep creating more and more content for you. So yeah. For snack, I have some chopped up fruit. So I have watermelon, cantaloupe, and apple. Fruit is my favorite food. Now I'm gonna make a caprese inspired salad, but obviously vegan and quite a bit more ingredients. So starting with some cucumber, then tomato, avocado, basil, then a little bit of balsamic vinegar, a lot of lemon juice, either half or a whole lemon, salt, pepper, topping it off with some Brazil nuts. It's also really, really good with walnuts. If you were to make this, I would keep the Brazil nuts for the mineral content and then also add walnuts on top. You can get a little bit more omegas from that. And there it is. I love, love, love this salad so much. For dinner, I'm making Spanish cauliflower rice with pinto beans and a side of lemon pepper asparagus. So in a pan, I've got some sunflower oil, adding in onion, sauteing that, then add minced garlic, saute it a little bit more, and then add some riced cauliflower. I rice this myself in a food processor, but you can probably buy it like this at the store. Mix that all together. Then add cumin, tomato paste, Better Than Bouillon, which is a broth paste, water. Mix that together until it cooks down all the way. So it's pretty much cooked at this point. So then we're gonna add some pinto beans, warm those up, and then that one's good to go. Now I'm gonna cook the asparagus in the same pan just to minimize cleaning. So I added some oil, tossing the asparagus around, and once it's cooked for a minute or two, I don't like it overcooked, I'm gonna add some salt, lemon, toss that for just a tiny bit just to get it all incorporated, and I'm gonna add it to my plate right away. Then I'm gonna add some cilantro on top of the Spanish rice with pinto beans, a squeeze of lime, and then topping the asparagus with some pepper. The cauliflower Spanish rice recipe comes from wholesomelicious.com. I added the pinto beans as an addition for some extra protein, and I'm gonna put her link to that recipe down below in the description. This whole recipe combination has become one of my favorite dinners.